Okay, so today I wanted to talk about media queries. I was really excited to sign up to do this one because I didn't really understand it at first. I feel like I gained a greater understanding of it as we've done our weather site. And so I've been super grateful for that, and it's been really fun kind of learning about it and just I'm excited to teach you guys. So, the first thing I talk about is like, what is a media query? So, as we go to different sites, we see that they change. So, like for this one, for example, the weather, I call it the weather heather. This is my weather site. And we start in a small screen. Now, as we get to a bigger screen, things change. So as we see when we change to the medium, the menu button goes away and you can see more. You can see that the picture's changing. And when we get to the large, the content shrinks. So media queries just help us to give different roles for those things. So I'm going to be quoting stuff from W3 Schools today. They did a very good job of explaining it. One thing they said was a media query uses the at media rule. So right here, the at media rule, um, to create different layouts and styles for the same website in different viewports slash media types. Now this is really handy. It makes the user's experience much better and it helps the site just be a lot more functional. So I've been really grateful to learn about these so that we can make sure our sites are being useful to those who use them. So how do media queries work? Well, what we need to do is we need to have a media query syntax. So as we see up here, we have the at media only, screen, and min width, and you choose a width, right? So what we do for that is we're choosing at what point we want the website to start picking up the CSS rules for this CSS sheet instead of the medium or the small. This rule here, the min width 60 EM, helps us know, helps the computer know, okay, time to switch to the large CSS. Um, it's just I don't know, it's so neat. Computers are so smart, and I just love how they can just know, like, "Oh, look, it says 60 EM. When we get there, we're gonna switch." Or in the medium, when we get to 37.5 EM, we gotta switch. So I think that's really, really handy. One thing that I thought was really cool, it said that when we do this, it tells the computer when to apply the different CSS depending on whether it is true or false. I am not a very like computer brain person, like right, I don't just think in true or false. So it's cool to figure out how the computer thinks, where it's gonna look through your CSS, it's gonna look at all these things, right? And then it's gonna go when it gets to here, it's gonna say, oh, min width 37.5 EM, and then it's gonna check it, say, oh, are we in that range? Are we like at minimum 37.5? And if it says yes, then it says, oh, okay, well then I gotta apply all these. And it goes to the large. Oh, are we in 60? No. Okay, we'll disregard these then. So it's kind of cool. I love thinking of it as like a true or false thing, right? The computer just goes by true or false. So we are creating true or false statements for that computer to follow. Um, Another thing I thought was really cool is they talked about the different media types. So right here we have media only screen. So we are just doing these rules for screen. But it is actually cool. They have quite a few different media types. So they have all, which is used for every type of device, every media. Print, used for printers. Screen, used for computer screens, tablets, and smartphones, which is what we're doing. And speech, used for screen readers that read the page out loud. So in this class so far, we've only been using the screen one, but I just thought it was really interesting to note that there are different media queries that we can do for those other things. So now that we know what the media query is and different media query types, what do we do? Um, so we've been taught that first we need to make a small CSS file, right? So this is where most your CSS is because we want to design for the small screen. So over here, this should work on a phone. We want to design it so it's very user friendly and so we start on that small level. And then we move up. So it's really neat. I did like that they have a start small and then get bigger. Um, so yeah, then we just go to the medium size, and I think I need to fix something in my in my thing. But we do go up to the medium size and then the large. And so it's really nice to know that. And we just make different files for them, just like that, the small, medium, and large. Um, and then after that, um, one thing that I struggled with was knowing like, oh, what size do I make the media queries? And we luckily we have things to kind of help us with that. Like we have examples to follow. And something that I've kind of done is just tried to see how my screen goes. And like I notice here that my menu for the medium, it kind of gets two lines here, and that I don't really like that. So I might change my media query to make it so it doesn't change menus until here, because then my medium can have a straight line across here. So that's probably something I'm gonna go change. Because my media query right now is at 37.5, which I do think is a good width for it. But because of my menu, I might just go change it so that it doesn't do that. And then the large is at 60 EM right now, which I think is a good width for it at the moment. So yeah, you can kind of just do that, go off some examples, or just go off how your site is reacting to it and try to just find something that works. Um, and then, another question that I had was, do we have to make a different CSS file for each one? And if you watch the weekly labs with Brother Blizzard, he's really funny. He goes, no, but for this class you have to, or else like, because you've been told to. So basically, it's kind of nice that you don't have to. If you look in some of our code pens, you see that at the bottom, they just go down and they just add an at media, they just add it right here and they just go for it. But in this class, we want 3 different files for it. But just know that in the future, for future jobs, you can just have it on all the same CSS sheet, which would probably be nice. But for now, it is nice to have different ones because it's very clear where you're at and what you're doing. Um, so yeah, this has been so fun learning about media queries. I think they're awesome. I'm really grateful that they've been invented so we can make these sites just so much more user friendly. We can have them be what we need them. We can really mold them to our needs. And so I'm really grateful for that. And last of all, before you forget anything, it's always good to link your style sheets to the HTML. I was actually editing this site last week and I was like, why isn't it changing? And I realized I forgot to add my large CSS on there. So with media queries, make sure you are linking all those different style sheets so that it will affect your site. So I hope this has been useful. If you have any questions about media queries, like please let me know. I would love to try to help, and maybe if you have a question, then maybe I'll learn. I know I'll learn something too from it. So I'm so excited to learn from you guys, and just thank you so much. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate it.